Good evening, this is Newsline. I'm Michael Chugani. Tonight, Lam Boon Kong, Executive Council Convener and the head of the Equal Opportunities Commission. Thank you, Mr. Lam. The last time you were here, you were just the Equal Opportunities Commissioner. Now you're also the Executive Council Convener. Now, you know, the row, the controversy is over, you know, whether the two roles conflict with each other. And you say you're going to quit as the Equal Opportunities Commissioner in January, I think, right?
Or as soon as they find a new
as soon as they find a new one, and you will remain as Executive Council Convener. But when you were last here as the Equal Opportunities Commissioner, I remember very clearly you saying to me that the government had failed in certain laws to protect minorities, certain laws against racial discrimination. You said that very, very clearly the last time you were here. Now you are, in a way, part of the establishment as the Executive Council Convener. You know, forget about the arguments about whether the roles are conflicting. I want to ask you this. Sitting at an Executive Council meeting, which is a cabinet meeting, if the government pushes a policy which you feel is a law that doesn't support minorities or doesn't advance anti-racism, which side are you going to take?
Oh, it's very clear. I mean, I have a statutory role as chairperson of EOC. I will stand very firm on that side of the balance. I will defend the minorities'
You've
rights.
said that you will stand very firmly on that side. But the other role as the Executive Council Convener, you are supposed to promote government policies. Here there is a government policy that you, wearing your hat as Equal Opportunities Commissioner, disagrees with. So you disagree with a government policy. Surely there is a role conflict.
Well, no.
Because you're supposed to advance government policies.
Michael, my role as non-executive member of the Executive Council is a policy advisor to the Chief Executive.
But you're supposed to go out and promote those policies.
No. My role is a policy advisor. If the CE doesn't take my view, and if my advice is on the basis of what the EOC is promoting, and if my advice is not taken, I will not defend whatever policy decision is going to be made.
Wait a minute, I'm not going to clarify that. C.Y. Leung has said that he expects executive councillors to go out and promote government policies, meet with the people. We have always known that Executive Council acts collectively. Whether you agree or disagree with the policy, once that policy is passed, you're supposed to go out and defend it.
No, I don't agree with that.
But that has been the policy.
No, that does not have to be the policy.
Are you changing the policy?
No. There's the rule of declaring the interest and declaring the stand. If I go against it, I will keep myself out of it. I will not defend that particular policy. But of course, I have to keep the confidentiality of the discussion. But I will not defend a policy which goes against EOC's core values.
But you are the Executive Council Convener.
I am a free man too. I can do that.
So you will then say to the government, to C.Y. Leung, I disagree with your policy, therefore I'm not going to go out there and defend it, I'm going to go out there and rubbish it as the Equal Opportunities Commissioner, because that's what you're going to have to do.
I will defend the EOC's core values if it really has to come to a conflict.
So then you're going to say the government policy is wrong, even though you're an Executive Council Convener.
I can defend EOC's policies and core values very clearly. I can refuse to defend a government policy which, if it does, goes against the EOC's core values.
But that means you're going to have to say that the government policy is wrong.
Whatever the public interprets it is up to the public, but I am a free man. I can defend whatever is inside the EOC's core values, because that's my primary job as chairperson.
Okay, well, let's hope that you do that, because there are many people out there who feel that minorities and so on are not adequately protected in Hong Kong.
And I remember, I agree, it's still not.
It's not, right? So, and I remember you said that the last time you were here,
Yeah.
that
That's why I'm still advocating a lot for doing more on the education front. And I'm going to seek a meeting with Eddie Ng after he's got a bit more time. I'm going to continue to push on that.
Eddie Ng, the education secretary,
Yeah, because
he's in a lot
you
of trouble
remember,
with national education.
we are promoting better learning for Chinese for the ethnic minority students,
Right.
and they are still not responding to
Well,
us.
I want to come back to that, better Chinese learning for ethnic minority students in Hong Kong. That's another question I want to ask you. But before I go to that question, I want to ask you that the hot issue now is Mr. Paul Chan Mao-po, the Paul Chan, the Development Secretary, who took over from Mak Chai Kong, who lasted, less than 2 weeks as Development Secretary because of a rent issue. And now you've got Mr. Paul Chan or his wife involved in so-called subdivided flats. The details are not fully out there, so we don't know what's going to happen. But as the Executive Council convener, sitting here, can you say you support Paul Chan?
Well, I would strongly advise Mr. Chan to really make a full account of the whole incident, because it is always a bad practice to disclose the facts, when you are squeezed, when you are pushed.
A little bit by little bit. It's like water torture.
We should all learn from previous occasions. So I would strongly suggest Mr. Chan to really make a full account of the whole incident.
You don't think he has made a full account now?
Well, at least as I see in the press today, more questions are being raised about his wife's holdings, etc. Maybe that is his wife's holding, but still, the public could easily form an impression,
a negative impression,
that it's after all your wife, a very close relationship. So my strong advice to him would be really to come out with the full account of whatever is under his wife's holdings too.
Why does everybody blame their wives nowadays when there are political scandals? They say the wife did it.
Give him the chance. Let him give the full account first. Okay.
Well, we have to give him a chance because you say the details have not come out yet. But you are the Equal Opportunities Commissioner. You defend values, public values,
right?
Moral values, because equal opportunities, right, as it suggests. Even if all the facts are out, and the wife says, "I take all the blame." Yes, my husband Paul Chan was not involved in all of this, but husband and wife, can he morally remain the Development Secretary when, as the Development Secretary, he has to deal with subdivided flats? How is he going to go to the public and says, we think subdivided flats are not good, we need to, as a policy, provide better housing for people so they don't have to live in these squalid conditions? How can he say that morally?
Well, he does have to answer quite the range of questions arising from this particular incident. But Hong Kong being Hong Kong, we should really let the accused have the chance to have their say too. As things now stand, I would really strongly suggest Mr. Chan to come out and make the full account as soon as possible.
You don't think he's tarnished already? Whether the accounts will the full account will later exonerate him or not, don't you think he's already tarnished in the public image, the public mind?
Well, I think at the very least, in the ordinary public's mind, a lot of questions are now being raised, which will, if not satisfactorily explained, which will clearly damage his credibility.
You think it will damage his credibility?
If it's not clearly explained.
Well, the thing is, we waited so long, and he hasn't come out and made an account of the issue. They've been issuing statements and so on. Is he dragging it on for too long?
I mean, I think it is eroding his credibility, so he better, respond very quickly.
That in many ways, Mr. Lam, that is in fact, people say it's a sad thing that's happening in Hong Kong. that you have Mr. C.Y. Leung, who's been in there for just a bit over a month, and he's fighting one fire after another, fighting one scandal after another, and he's not able to focus on the issues that he wanted to focus on, which is housing, poverty, the issues that concern you as well. You know,
very much so.
He's not being able to do that. He's not able to do that, and people say it's very sad. Do you feel that we have gone on a wrong track in Hong Kong here?
Well, some of the things that were happening were unfortunate, like Mr. Mac's incident. But there are other issues which, perhaps, with hindsight, you know, we could have handled, you know, more cautiously.
You mean the government could have
yeah,
handled?
I mean the government could have handled more cautiously and reduce the damage. But be that as it may, I think Mr. Leung, the chief executive, has declared, as he has written a day or two ago, that it is his full intention to push ahead with livelihood issues to improve the living for the ordinary Hong Kong people, especially those at the bottom of the social strata, try to enhance their living standard. That he should be given room to do that as quickly as he can. I think the argument is correct, but then of course the reality is such that unless we can really get the public's trust in the government, it will be difficult for, I mean, even livelihood issues to be rolled out.
Is there public trust?
Is very important.
Is there public trust now, or has C.Y. Leung lost it?
If we read the polls, I think he is still having it on the whole, but it is not.
Popularity has gone down, Mr. Lam.
Not so far as to be sort of eroding all his credibility, but the situation is getting a bit shaky, you know. So I think
shaky?
It has.
You mean public trust is being eroded to a point where it's getting shaky?
Well, it is slowly getting down, you know. So I would think the administration really has to act very quickly, and that is why, going back to Mr. Chan's incident, I mean, he has really got to come out and clear the air as soon as he possibly can, because, you know, incidents like that tends to drag down the entire government's credibility and the public's trust towards the government.
Well, the public's trust really has, in my opinion, gone down quite a bit, and let's hope he can pick it up. But we'll pick that up after the break. See you soon. Don't go away.